How do you feel about flying?
Oh gosh, I love it. I've always loved it. I grew up in a small town very similar to this. When we were driving here, it was like, this looks like where I grew up. And I was telling him I lived on a farm, but my uncle had a plane, and he would take me at an airport very similar to this, ask me if I wanted to come flying. And the first time I went, I was like, this is awesome. I just love it. I've got to do this. And it's been something that I've wanted to do for a long, long time. And finally, I got to do it.
Do you have like any friends that like to go flying, or like do you have like clubs or stuff that you go to, or like meetings?
Well, I'm involved in Women in Aviation. We have a local chapter in Cincinnati, and we just did the Girls in Aviation Day. I love to go to all the air shows. I am involved with the Commemorative Air Force. Support them. They fly like warbirds. That's kind of what my uncle has always flown, like the old warbird planes, and I'm pretty passionate about keeping them flying. I do have a few friends, but I've gotten to know more people since I started flying. There's a few females that I've really connected with that, because there's so few, that if you can meet them, then you have a lot in common, and we can go flying together. I love to take people flying in my little plane and take them to lunch somewhere or go on a little trip. Yeah.
I like to go exploring myself. So, like, what restaurants have you visited?
Well, I flew into Bowman Field, and we used they have like a crew car, courtesy car that you can use to drive somewhere at the airport. So we went somewhere, Wild Eggs, I think that's what it was called, and had breakfast. And I've flown to Muncie, Indiana. I've flown to a place in Portsmouth, Ohio. I fly a lot of places. There's another couple places in Ohio that I go to. As long as I can keep it like within an hour, like on a Saturday, and go do that. And I've taken like my son with me to go flying, and I go by myself too. But I've taken a lot of women that have never flown in a little plane. I'll say, please come with me and let me show you what this is all about, and I'll treat you to lunch. And they usually go and love it. Yeah, sometimes they're scared of it. I don't know why.
So like, are there like any airports or something that you thought were amazing and like you have to go back?
Well, I love to go to different airports. I like to, not that I don't like to go to the same ones over and over again, but I really like to find new ones. So if I have a Saturday, then I want to be like, okay, let me go to a different one. I went to one near Indianapolis not long ago, and the airport is actually across from like this lake, and there's a restaurant on the lake. They have like a deck and everything you can sit out on, and it was really cool. And it was really good food. So I really like that. I would go back there sometime. And it was a little over an hour flight, I think. But I love to ask people, and I love to research online where some restaurants are that I can go try out that are near local airports. That's one of my favorite things to do, try something new.
What do you do besides flying?
Well, I'm a mom. I have 3 boys. And really, since I started flying, I'm really passionate about running this organization, flyGIRL, and talking to other women in aviation and telling their story. I write blogs on my website about them, and I do videos where they can share their story. I interview them and post those on social media because I want other women to see this is something that they can do, even if it's not being a pilot, but something that is challenging, and maybe if there's a dream that they have, I want them to feel like they can go after it, and I want to be a cheerleader for them and show them there's lots of people that have dreams and go after them. So we can all cheer for each other, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm very passionate about like cheering people on and like helping them believe in themselves, because that just makes me feel good, and it just makes me feel like I encouraged someone today. I made them feel like they could do it, and not only that they could feel like it, but they can do it. And I just feel like that's just amazing.
That's the best thing, isn't it? It makes you just feel so good, doesn't it? Yeah, I love that too. And I don't expect anything in return. I just want to be cheering someone on. I really didn't know if I could be a pilot. When I first started training, I thought, I don't know if I'm smart enough. I don't know if I can fly this thing. My confidence was pretty low when I started flying. And with each flight, it just grew. My confidence grew. And I was like, this is amazing. It's such a great feeling to be able to do that and to accomplish things. And I want other people to feel that.